from producing new products to finding jobs through auditions. Everything about the Idea Audition that is open to men and women of all ages. TPP and three-way FTA with China and Japan are the hottest issues in Korea's trade and commerce sectors in 2014. How far can Korea achieve this year? The ICT market gears up for the gunless battle in 2014. What is a key word that will lead the new ICT trend? Skincare is essential during the dry winter season. What is the secret behind the popularity of the portable skincare kit that is easy to use at home? The strained relations between South and North Korea. Can relations improve in 2014?
Hello, I'm Andrew Salmon, and welcome to Bizline 2014. Now, a bold new year lies ahead of us. What promise does it hold? If you're in commerce, we'll be discussing the global trade outlook for Korea. If you're a techie, we'll be discussing some of the future ICT trends. If you're a policy one, we'll be looking at how inter-Korean relations may play out. And if you're a beautiful maiden or even a glamorous cougar, we'll be introducing a new skincare product that can keep you looking moist and beautiful even in the chilly season. So do stay with us. But before we go to those and other features, let's first take a look at all the breaking business and economic news hitting headlines across South Korea this week.
The Bank of Korea said that its consumer sentiment index came in at 107 for December last year, unchanged from the previous month when it hit a 33-month high. The index is a barometer of consumer outlook on the economy, with a reading above 100 meaning that optimists outnumber pessimists. 850,000 people had their debts paid off by the government in 2013 through financial institutions like the Financial Supervisory Service and the Credit Counseling and Recovery Service. That is the largest ever number of people to be bailed out by the state and exceeded the initial expectation of around 700,000. A Daishin Securities report highlighted Naver Corporation, Korea's biggest search portal operator, as last year's star player on the stock market. Buoyed by the success of its mobile messenger service called Line, the company saw its share value rise by over 100% last year. That pushed up Naver to the 6th most valuable company listed on the Seoul market from 14th at the beginning of last year. Hyundai Motor saw its annual sales in China top the 1 million mark for the first time since it entered the market 11 years ago. The estimated sales figure is up about 20% from 2012 and surpassed the company's target of 970,000 vehicles for last year. Hyundai also said that its cumulative sales in China exceeded 5 million vehicles.
Customarily, auditions have been used to select talent, actors, singers, dancers. But the usefulness of auditions is no longer restricted solely to the entertainment sector. Currently, would-be entrepreneurs are undergoing online auditions as they seek investors for their products, services, or companies. Let's take a look and see how these idea auditions may work to help create a creative economy in 2014.
Auditioning to become the next idol in singing, dancing, acting, and even songwriting is seen on every TV channel these days. The craze, which began several years ago, is still hot, and now auditions are not just about discovering talents in the entertainment industry, but also in the realm of business. People are auditioning to find a job of their dream or to become the next big entrepreneur with their innovative ideas. An audition site to discover innovative ideas in South Korea opened in July. By gaining recognition on innovative ideas, participants are rewarded with assistance to start one's own business, easing them from financial burden.
창업이라 그러면 굉장히 이제 힘든 거 또는 전문가들만이 하는 거, 아무나 해서는 안 되는 거, 또 실패할 위험도 크고, 또 그러다 보니까 창업은 해서는 안 되는 것 이렇게 죄악시하는 경우도 많이 생겨나고 있습니다. 그래서 저희가 이러한 점을 고려를 해서 누구나 쉽게 창업에 참여할 수 있도록 또 창업의 부담을 덜어드릴 수 있도록 전문가들이 모여서 일반 국민들이 내는 아이디어를 우리가 쉽게 사업화 또는 비즈니스로 연결시켜 드리자라고 하는 그런 생각을 갖고 시작을 했습니다.
It has been 6 months since the site was started, and already more than 9,000 ideas have registered and 63 of them were developed into becoming products. One of them is so-called Bear Plate, which comes with sauce bowls and is very useful when eating at a buffet restaurant. This card holder prevents several transportation cards in the wallet from getting recognized by the machine. In fact, 15 products have made through commercial production and are being sold in stores.
기본적으로 접시와 그릇을 하나로 이렇게 세트로 합친다라는 컨셉은 맞았는데 이제 그게 실제 생산을 하기 위해서 이제 제품을 뭐 이렇게 금형이라던가 이런 작업을 제조를 해야 되는데 그 실제 현실에서는 나오지 않는 어떤 그런 구조였거든요. 컨셉은 유지를 하되 생산이 가능한 또 다른 방법으로 또 이렇게 스케치를 다르게 제안을 하셨어요.
Some of the ideas that were a little short in being developed into commercial use, netizens and industry experts made improvements, which was the biggest merit in holding this audition. This so-called bear paw generated about $500,000 in profit, and the shares divided according to the level of contribution.
일단 기본적으로 아이디어 제안자가 수익의 3분의 1을 가져가고요. 그리고 아이디어를 개발하는 데 참여하신 전문가들, 디자이너, 엔지니어, 그리고 뭐 마케터, 그리고 참여하시는데 같이 도움을 주신 뭐 네티즌 분들까지도 수익의 3분의 1을 가져갑니다. 그리고 아이디어 오디션이 수익의 3분의 1을 마지막으로 가져가고요.
It shows that innovative ideas can be profitable and brings together creative energy to add value in the industrial circle, which is the goal of holding this kind of idea audition.
今韓国国内だけではなくこれから世界各国の何十億人という人からのアイデアを集められる。でそしてそれを商品化することができるっていうとても魅力的というか、今後楽しみなビジネスだなというふうに思ってます。
크라우드 펀딩이라든지 또는 아이디어 거래소 같은 것도 같이 보완을 해서 실제 아이디어가 사업화까지는 안 갔더라도 그 아이디어를 누군가 다른 사람이 또 사가서 또 사업으로 연결하거나 또는 아이디어를 팔거나 또는 서로 사거나 이런 시장을 형성을 해드릴 생각을 가지고 있고요. 누구나 아이디어가 사이트에 올라오면은 바로바로 사업으로 이어질 수 있는 그런 시스템을 만드는 것이 저의 목표입니다.
For the ordinary person, there is an audition to help them start a business with their innovative item. Seoul Tea Stars 2013, which began in June, is now in its 6th month to give opportunities to startups with less than 2 years being in the business. Unlike many other auditions where winners are awarded with a check, this audition attracts investors for their innovative technology.
2월까지 이제 최종 투자 대상 기업을 선정한 이후에 저희 기관이 2천만 원에서 7천만 원까지 직접적인 투자가 이루어지고 그 이후에는 이제 저희 기관이 보유한 창업 보육 시설에 대해 입주권을 부여를 해서 이곳에 4년 정도 입주를 시켜서 아주 집중적인 지원을 통해서 경영, 기술, 마케팅, 네트워크 다양한 지원을 받게 될 것입니다.
BioExchange is an electronic medical equipment maker which started in 2011 and is one of 20 teams competing in the final round. It has introduced a unique technology, intraosseous infusion system, and is now awaiting assessment from investors after receiving good points so far. It is good news that there is an increase in auditions where startups can find investors because they usually find it difficult to deliver funds despite their innovative technology.
창업 초기 기업들이 여러 가지 경영상의 애로사항들이 있는데요. 이런 창업 오디션 프로그램들이 그냥 일회성의 그런 대회 혹은 일회성의 그런 지원으로 끝나지 않고 뭐 입주 공간 지원이나 멘토링 그리고 뭐 시작품을 제작 지원하는 그런 여러 가지 그런 지원 프로그램과 연동된다면 기업들한테 상당한 도움이 될 것으로 보고 있습니다.
With more auditions held to attract technology and innovative ideas, there will be more people getting interested and contributing to the industrial circle. Holding open auditions can be beneficial to the hosting institution in addition to gathering attention and tangible results.
일반적인 모집 방식보다 공개 오디션 방식이 많은 창업팀들이 참여를 할 수 있고 또한 그 창업 오디션 행사 자체도 홍보할 수 있는 큰 장점이 있고 무엇보다도 열린 오디션 방식이기 때문에 공정한 경쟁과 투명한 평가 시스템 내에서 좋은 창업팀이 발굴할 수 있다는 게 가장 큰 장점일 것 같습니다.
Creative power has become the most talked about topic on industrial sites, which raises much need to hold auditions to discover talented people and innovative ideas. Auditions may provide more opportunities and fair competitions, however, they may end up being just a show and require a big budget.
일단 오디션 프로그램을 통해서 선정된 그런 아이디어나 그런 결과물들이 실제 산업 현장에서 어떻게 활용이 되고 또 어떻게 적응이 되어가는지를 보여주는 그런 후속 프로그램 이런 것들도 같이 진행을 하면 더욱 좋은 프로그램이 되겠습니다.
The aim of a creative economy in South Korea is reviving the economy through creative and innovative ideas coming from people. In order to achieve that goal, there will be more auditions with variations held in 2014.
"2013 is behind us, 2014 lies ahead." Will this be a good year for the Korean economy? Well, one of the most important indicators to look at, of course, is the external environment, global trade, because South Korea remains an export-dependent economy. So, what is the global trade outlook? To answer these questions, we have with us a key person in this area. He's a former Minister for Trade and is a current professor at Seoul National University. Professor Park Tae-ho, welcome back to Bizline.
Thank you.
Okay, let's look at the broad picture of global trade. Should we be looking at macroeconomies and key trading partners? Should we be looking at currency movements, commodity prices? What are the kind of metrics which will tell us whether this will be a good or bad year for trade?
The most important thing is the world economic situation.
Yeah.
Especially the largest economy in the world, US is recovering quite rapidly. Many sources are providing pretty good economic indicators. So we hope that the US economy will recover. Of course, they have some kind of policy issues too, tapering and all kind of things.
Sure.
But overall, US economy will be growing at the rate of 2.6%. But the managing director of IMF, Lagardes, said they will be upgrading the figures to even 3%. So, which is very good news to the world economy. And the Eurozone economies, they had a lot of problems, but they will avoid at least zero or negative growth. In other words, Eurozone economy is also growing a little bit. And China, maybe more than 7%, which is pretty healthy too. So, overall, Korea's export destination, they are recovering. So I hope Korea will experience increase or expansion of export. So trading environment is pretty good. And also at the same time, lots of FTA negotiations, including TPP,
We'll come to that in a moment.
Korea, China, Japan, all kind of FTA negotiations. And also WTO will have a very intense negotiations there, even though we have a good result at Bali. So another busy year for trade officials.
Okay, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you recently met with Christine Lagarde of the IMF, the managing director who's visiting Seoul. You talked with her for some time. What were her key issues? What did she say regarding the year ahead?
She emphasized two things. One is the 21st century is the century for Asia. Nobody doubt about that.
Sure.
Okay, this is one thing she clearly mentioned. Another thing is interconnectivity among countries will be enhanced in the future. With that kind of background, she also said that more than 80% of the investors if they are asked, where you want to invest, they said they will invest in Asia. So clearly, Asia is the future kind of engine of growth of the world economy, and Korea is one of the good candidates. She advised 2 or 3 things too for Korean economy. First of all, we definitely need the expansion of employment opportunities for young people, because they are suffering a lot these days. And also, we have to expand women's participation in the workforce, especially in the rapidly aging society. She emphasized that very much, the women's participation. The third thing she mentioned is about our service sectors. Our service sector's productivity is only half of the manufacturing sector, so we have to do some work in enhancing the productivity of the service sectors. Lastly, Korea should play some important role in multilateral fora, including G20. You know that 2010 we host the G20 summit meeting, APEC, especially in the issue of climate change. She came to Korea to attend the launching meeting of the GCF, and also to help developing country in terms of capacity building with the international organization. That's the Korea's future role in multilateral settings.
Okay, let's move on. You mentioned just now the Bali round of the WTO, the World Trade Organization talks. The Doha development agenda of the WTO has really got nowhere since, I think, 2001.
Yes.
But then we have had these latest negotiations, December the 7th, I think they completed in Bali. So the Bali package seeks to fulfill, I think, some portion of the Doha development agenda, which of course is the much bigger picture. Can you basically explain what the Bali package delivers?
Well, as you know, as you already mentioned, the WTO ambitiously launched this big round called the Doha round, which include lots of trade liberalization issues too, like the goods, agricultural goods, services, many things. But because of the uneven interest among major participants, we didn't make any kind of production. And lastly, this December, luckily, we produced some small but balanced package we call Bali package, which doesn't include anything like the trade liberalization at all, but it includes 3 major elements. One of them is trade facilitation, which is nothing but modernizing the customs clearance kind of administrative kind of procedures, kind of thing, and then also development issues, some agricultural issues, but most importantly trade facilitation, which will give us huge benefits. Actually, it's not the trade liberalization, but it is reducing the transaction cost of international trade about 10 to 15%. Huge benefits to many countries, and Korea will be one of them.
Do you think this will be faithfully implemented?
That's another question, because they extended actually 1 day in Bali because they couldn't agree. So some of the issues, even in the trade facilitation, is not really completed. So by July, they have to come up with a final package so that every country can take it or leave it. So we hope, even though we have many things to do further in even trade facilitation, I think we can do quite a pretty good job, especially if we agree on something which can help developing countries and least developed countries in terms of financing, because you have to modernize your trade facilitation. You need some money, but we cannot oblige the developed country to give the money to them. But somehow we have to find out some kind of mechanism.
A way to channel it.
Yes.
All right. TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership Pact, which is currently being negotiated. It's a US-led pact, but Korea has been rather reluctant to join this. It covers, I think, 12 economies around Asia-Pacific, including, of course, Japan. Why has South Korea come so late to the table to TPP?
This is a very frequently asked question.
Sure.
But if you look at the Korean situation, if you look at the 12 countries which are participating in TPP, when they joined last year. But among these 12 countries, we already have FTA with 7 of them. Already is in operation. And then we are negotiating with 3 other countries, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. That means only 2 remaining countries we don't have any FTA with.
Mexico and
Japan. We tried before, but we couldn't complete. So in terms of getting more market access by joining TPP is not very serious. I mean, in other words, we already have FTAs with 7 and we are negotiating with 3. So so in that sense, we don't have to really hurry. That's why we are not really joining them in early stage. And also, Korea is negotiating FTA with China, which is also a huge FTA. So in terms of resource allocation, in terms of priority, we don't have to really hurry. Well, of course, if you join TPP earlier, then we can discuss about the new rules, all kind of things. But we have Korea-US FTA, Korea-EU FTA. Maybe those 2 FTAs, the highest level FTAs among current FTAs. So we don't think we have to do it very early. I think if we decide to join, then from now on we just take the regular steps. It may take a year or so, but we don't have to really hurry. That's my position.
If you join TPP, doesn't that become almost a de facto FTA with Japan? And also with Mexico, but Japan, of course, is much more important for Korea. Are there sensitivities there?
So if you look at TPP from different angle, you can have many different interpretation. If Korea look at the TPP, before we Korea, China, Korea, Japan FTA, I mean, this is US-Japan FTA. That means we already have FTA with the United States. In other words, our market participation will be diluted by Japanese participation.
Yeah, sure.
But as you said, this could be also from the Korea's viewpoint. It's Korea-Japan FTA. So maybe our manufacturing sector will feel a little bit concerned, especially auto industry, which is Japan has a very high competitiveness, and also some parts, machines, high-tech materials. For that area, maybe we can feel some pressure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we can open up Japanese agricultural markets, then maybe our farmers can export more to Japan. So it's not that one side unilateral kind of concern from us. And also, of course, many companies are complaining about the discrimination in the Mexican market because Mexico has an FTA with Japan already, and we have a negative disadvantages. So maybe if you join TPP, then maybe we can avoid this kind of discrimination in the Mexican market. But most of all, not in terms of market access, but if you have a 12 country or 13 country participating in the same RTA, regional trade agreement, then you can use so-called cumulative rules of origin.
Say again? You can
cumulative rules of origin.
Okay.
That means one company can make something out of many different sources from member countries. Okay. Then you can claim that this is, subject to free trade agreements. Yeah. So this is providing very good flexibilities to Korean companies who are operating in Vietnam, importing something from other countries, and you can export to United States. Which is not easy these days for only using Korea-US FTA, but if you use a big TPP kind of RTA, then much more flexibility for Korean companies. Yes.
Yeah, global manufacturing. Okay, let's talk about the China-Korea FTA. From what I've seen of it, there have been several rounds of negotiations. It still looks like this agreement is a long way off. How do you see it?
Well, actually, I started that when I was in the office. But through several negotiations, we agreed upon a big framework, which means that we want to classify the goods into 3 categories. One is normal, ordinary good category, and then sensitive goods and super sensitive goods.
Do these include what, agricultural products?
I mean,
or
it
strategic
depends on
products,
each party.
or what?
China has its own sensitive we We have our own sensitive item, mainly fisheries and agricultural products. Right. So we classify this kind of framework. We already agreed upon the size of the framework. So for normal goods, maybe 90% of the all goods will be in the normal goods, and remaining 10% maybe you can classify into sensitive or super sensitive kind of thing. So I think they are moving into really the second stage of the negotiations. I hope they will make pretty substantial progress. That's my hope.
Would you like to put money on when this thing might actually be signed and sealed?
That's you should not say. Even though you know something, you should not say that anything like that because it can hurt negotiation strategies.
Okay, but is this going to go ahead for sure?
Yes, I think there will be much more substantial movements next year. That's for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And finally, there's of course I suppose the gold standard for this area would be a trilateral FTA, including China, Japan, and South Korea. What's happening there?
Whenever we talk about East Asian trade integration or East Asian economic integration, without these three countries' integration, we cannot say anything like that. Even though ASEAN is so-called ASEAN centrality, but unfortunately, the political, issues make this progress very slow. And we hope trade ministers or economic ministers always say that this kind of movement should be moving independently from political issues. But if you have a problem in the political area, it slows down the process. So I hope we have a new leaders, all three countries. Korea and Japan also has a new leader, and China has a new leader. I hope they can do something about economic issues. I don't want to touch upon the political issues, but so that we can separate economic issues from the political sensitivity, then maybe we can move we can have some progress. Otherwise, so I'm not really optimistic, but I hope something can go on.
I hope so too, but I'm not holding my breath. Even so, despite these political issues and almost regardless of the various FTA negotiations, a brighter trade outlook for 2014.
Yes, okay. That's for sure.
Professor, it's been a pleasure having you on Bizline. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year too.
In 2013, ICT evolved almost on a day-to-day basis. In 2014, competition in the sector is expected to be as ferocious as ever. In the year ahead, what kind of ICT technologies can we expect to grab the spotlight? Let's take a look.
SMAC is the keyword that will embrace the ICT industry in 2014. From social, mobile, analysis to cloud, let's explore this year's notable ICT trends and meet the SMAC services slated to begin this year. SMAC is a new acronym for Social, Mobile, Analysis, and Cloud, which are hot issues in the ICT industry. So why is SMAC emerging as a key issue this year?
초고속 네트워킹이 모바일로 확장되면서 모바일 스마트 기기들이 폭발적으로 늘어났습니다. 그러면서 SNS가 활성화됐고요. 또 초고속 연결이 이루어지면서 이 클라우드가 가능해졌습니다. 그리고 사람과 사람 간 연결을 넘어서서 사물과 사물 간 연결로 확대되면서 데이터 생산이 폭발적으로 늘어났습니다.
According to a market research company, IDC, data volume, which stood at 54 exabytes in 2013, is expected to jump to 40,000 exabytes in 2020. Like this, it isn't too much to say SMAC's service is the big data technology that analyzes only the needed information in real time from floods of information in mobile and SNS.
빅데이터를 잘 이제 활용을 하면은 상황을 좀 더 정확하게 인식을 하게 되겠죠. 그러다 보니까 좀 더 정확한 판단이 가능하게 될 것이고요. 또 미래를 좀 더 정확하게 좀 더 미리 알게 될 수 있을 것 같습니다. 그래서 선제적 대응이 가능할 것이고, 그래서 이런 어떤 사회적, 경제적 비용을 크게 줄이고 또 위험 요소를 크게 줄이는 데 기여할 수 있지 않을까 생각이 되고.
Indeed, big data services are slated to officially begin this year after completing trial services last year. Above all, the most notable service is the SMAC service in the healthcare sector. As it is the information directly linked to the nation's health, it will likely bring the biggest benefits. In an emergency room of a local hospital, a regularly beating heart suddenly beats irregularly. Arrhythmia is a condition in which heartbeats suddenly turn irregular and momentarily stop, It is a dangerous symptom that can lead to death if emergency treatments, including resuscitation, are delayed even for a few seconds. But a technology has been developed to enable predicting signs of death 10 seconds before the occurrence of ventricular arrhythmia.
원내 환자들 같은 경우에 저희가 지속적으로 심전도를 모니터링하고 있는데 그거를 더 빨리 환자가 안 좋아지기 직전에 그거를 캐치할 수 있고 뭐 실제로 환자들한테 가서 직접 환자를 관찰하는 것만 해도 한 4초, 5초 넘게 걸리는데 10초나 볼 수 있다면 아주 큰 영향을 끼칠 수 있을 장점이 있고.
Until now, hospitals haven't been utilizing data collected from the patients. That is because of the limitations in interpreting massive data using the existing analysis technology. But with the big data analysis method, we could find a difference in patterns between the electrocardiogram of a normal person and an arrhythmia patient.
숫자들이 들어오고 그걸 이제 그냥 하나의 알고리즘의 모델에 집어넣어서 그냥 기계적으로 yes, no를 분류를 한 겁니다. 그래서 그게 어떤 패턴이 있는지가 눈으로 보이는 패턴이 아닙니다. 컴퓨터 알고리즘으로 그냥 사람이 알 수 없는 신호를 찾아내서 그냥 컴퓨터가 분석을 한 겁니다.
The accuracy of predicting arrhythmia 10 seconds before the outbreak is 80%. Currently, hospitals are using the 10 seconds prediction technology to sound an alarm to their medical teams. But such predictions can be made possible as much as 24 hours before the outbreak.
스마트폰에 이 모델을 올리고 환자분들이 이렇게 심전도를 측정할 수 있는 장비를 몸에 달고 있는 걸 간주를 해서 그러니까 뭐 집에서든 뭐 직장에서든 이제 심전도를 보고 심장마비가 오는 환자들을 미리 관리할 수 있도록 하는 게 최종적인 목적입니다.
Moreover, beginning this year, the National Health Insurance Service will adopt a National Health Warning Forecast System to provide forecasts of epidemics such as flu and eye disease. The Korea Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has been operating a warning system, but the system could only warn the influenza 2 weeks after the outbreak. However, after applying the big data analysis method, it turned out that flu-related search words soared in portal sites 2 weeks before the outbreak of influenza.
주로 우리가 핵심이라고 생각하는 약 200개 정도의 검색 쿼리를 조합을 해가지고 모형을 만드는 방식으로 해서 인플루엔자를 예측하기로 연구를 진행했죠. 이론상으로는 모형의 성능은 24시간 이내입니다. 24시간 이내인데 24시간이 걸린 이유는 그 검색 엔진 데이터가 이 정도 검색이 됐다라는 걸 취합해서 모형에다 집어넣고 모형에서 이런 결과가 나와서 확신을 가질 수 있게 되는 시간이거든요. 그러니까 거의 발병하는 실시간을 예측할 수가 있죠, 현재로서는.
The SMAC service in the healthcare sector is likely to become more personalized and contribute that much more to an increase in human lifespan.
소셜미디어에 내가 기분이 나쁘다, 좋다, 우울하다 올리는 것들 그리고 요즘에 나이키 플러스처럼 이제 액티비티 트래커에서 실제로 얼마나 운동을 하는지 그리고 뭐 내가 뭘 먹는지 이런 데이터들이 다 결합이 되고 뭐 심장마비가 올 확률이 남들보다 뭐 2배 정도 높으니까 미리 운동을 많이 하십시오. 라는 식의 예방의학도 가능할 거라고 생각을 하고 있습니다.
The problem is that it is inevitable to collect data from people's daily lives in order to provide the service optimized for each individual.
개인정보나 프라이버시에 대한 우려가 있는 것도 사실인데요. 이를 해결하기 위해서는 데이터를 개방하거나 공유할 때 개인 단위 식별이 가능한 요소들은 사전에 제거하고 이런 정보들이 잘 제거됐는지 확인 검증할 수 있는 데이터 비식별화 가이드를 개발해서 보급할 예정으로 있습니다.
SMAC, the ICT keyword for 2014, is expected to approach us as a human-friendly service that enables preserving life more than just for the convenience of life.
For men, the winter season can be a romantic one. It's a time for hiking with their beloved in snow-clad mountains and then returning home and lounging on a heated floor together. But many women don't welcome this season. Their lovely skin can be damaged by biting winds and the dry air of indoor heating. So, in response to this, a new device has been created that will keep women's skin looking moist and lovely even in the chilliest weather. If you're interested in staying beautiful this winter, you'd better meet this week's Hidden Champion.
Having flawless skin has become a means to assess women's beauty these days. And to be beautiful, women are investing time and money to have that clear and bright toned face. During the harsh winter season, women are exposed to cold wind and vulnerable to wrinkles and aging, and that calls for a special care.
겨울철의 건조함이 가장 안 좋은 이유는 피부 노화를 이제 가속화시키는 건데요. 눈가라던가 입가 같이 상대적으로 피지 분비가 적고 표정의 움직임이 많은 곳들은 미세 주름이 많이 생기게 되어서 더 특별한 관리가 필요하게 됩니다. 혈액순환을 원활하게 하기 위하여 가볍게 마사지를 좀 해주시거나 아니면은 불필요한 노폐물들을 없애기 위해서 각질 제거를 해주거나 피부에 영양 공급 등을 해주면 좋은데요. 피부는 이제 지속적인 케어가 필요하기 때문에 병원에서의 시술만큼이나 집에서 하는 홈케어가 필수적입니다.
Because constant care is necessary to see a full effect, women are turning to means they can easily utilize at home.
크기도 작고 가볍고 사용하기도 간편한 것 같고요. 원할 때 아무 때나 할 수 있어서 그래서 구매를 하려고요.
Among many skincare products out in the market, clients around the world are giving high praise to Lots, a small and medium-sized company based in South Korea. The company has been developing home skincare products for more than 17 years.
누구나 사용하기 간편하게 제품을 만들려고 휴대용으로 개발하다 보니까 기술적인 어려움이 많이 있었고요. 그래서 저희 제품을 이용했을 때 소비자들이 실제로 효과가 있는지에 대한 객관적인 입증을 위해서 오랜 시간 임상실험을 걸치다 보니까 개발 기간이 굉장히 길어져서 어려운 시기를 겪기도 했습니다.
Skin tissues are composed of 3 layers of epidermis, fibrous dermis, and adipose hypodermis. Merby, which is the main product of Lots, uses ion induction and ultrasound to supply moisture and nutrients deep into the dermis layer and help to improve wrinkles.
우리가 바르는 화장품 같은 거는 0.4%밖에 이제 피부에 이제 진피까지 침투를 안 하는데 사실은 잔주름이나 아니면은 그런 탄력 같은 거는 다 진피까지 들어가야지만 효과가 있는 건데요. 그 이온을 이용해서 극이 좀 다른 거를 이용해서 밀어 넣는 거죠. 초음파는 마이크로 진동 주파수를 이용한 진동 음파를 말하는 건데요. 물리적으로 피부를 계속 진동함으로 인해서 열을 발생시키고 그렇게 됨으로 인해서 혈액순환이 원활하게 되고 또 물리적으로 셀룰라이트를 분해하는 역할을 이제 할 수가 있고 또 역시 화장품에 좋은 성분들을 깊이까지 침투시킬 수 있는 원리입니다.
Galvanic ion and microvibration can't be seen by the naked eye, but their functions were proved through various tests. A drop of ink in water usually settles down at the bottom, but the use of ultrasound shows that the ink spreads out in a wide range. Oil and water can be mixed through the vibrations sent by ultrasound. So how effective are these functions on human skin? A clinical test conducted by a renowned university in Japan showed that the use of Lots products helped vitamin C penetration into the skin, 40 times higher in epidermis and nearly 31 folds in dermic layer than regular hand motion. Galvanic ion induction also proved to help deeper penetration of vitamin A and retinol. Lots also found the right frequencies for cosmetic penetration to enhance cleansing and skin lightening capability, which were highly effective in skincare.
어떻게 하면 정말 내가 이 사용하는 좋은 화장품을 진피까지 잘 들어가게 하고 기미도 없어지고 주름도 좀 없어지고 탄력도 생기나 이거를 연구하는데 핵심은 주파수에 있었습니다. 주파수가 포인트라고 하는 것을 임상실험을 통해서 알았는데 그 기간이 무려 몇 년이 소요가 됐었습니다. 그 주파수를 찾기까지 상당한 어려움이 있었습니다.
Lots user Park Young-hee has always been interested in skincare. She chose the product because of its effectiveness and cost.
이거는 시간도 절약되고 집에서 편안하게 어떤 시간이나 자유롭게 할 수 있어서 간단하고 피부과에 사는 것처럼 똑같은 그 작용이 똑같이 생기더라고요.
As the product is in direct contact with the skin, safety is crucial. So, is Lots safe on your skin?
위생 안전 품질 인증은 우리나라에서 피부 관리기로는 유일하게 인정받은 그 안전성에 대해서 이미 입증되었다고 생각합니다. 저희 제품은 치료 목적으로 사용하는 의료기기가 아닙니다. 따라서 치료가 필요한 알러지나 민감성 피부를 가지고 계신 분들은 의사의 지시를 받도록 주의사항을 안내하고 있습니다.
Lots has become a household name for skincare devices. They are being sold all over the world, including the Harrods in London, on-flight duty-free shops in many European airlines and Southeast Asia. To meet the rising demand, Lots will continue its endeavor to keep women's skin healthy and bright.
각 나라별 소비자의 기호에 맞는 특화된 기능을 추가한 제품을 개발하고 사용이 훨씬 간단한 보급형 제품을 추가로 개발해서 그 다양화된 해외 시장을 더욱 확대시켜 나갈 계획입니다. 그리고 이온과 초음파, 레이저 기능 이외에 새로운 기술을 접목한 제품 개발에도 심혈을 기울여서 전 세계 소비자들로부터 사랑받는 피부 관리기 전문 회사로 만들어 보고 싶습니다.
In the era which values ability along with well-managed physique, people have to be very diligent to attend to one's looks. And that provides opportunity for this SME from South Korea to expand further in the global skincare market with functionality and cost on its side.
"2013 was not a happy year for inter-Korean relations. Seoul attempted to engineer a trust-building process on the Korean peninsula. But this was foiled when Pyongyang launched a war of words against South Korea, temporarily closed the Kaesong industrial complex, and cancelled reunions of divided families. In the year ahead, can we anticipate any thaw in these frosty relations? Let's take a look.
동포 형제 여러분, 2013년을 보내고 앞날에 대한 확신과 혁명적 자부심에 넘쳐 새 2014년을 맞이합니다. 북남 사이 관계 개선을 위한 분위기를 마련해야 합니다. 백해무익한 비방중상을 끝낼 때가 되었으며 화해와 단합에 저해를 주는 일을 더 이상 해서는 안 될 것입니다.
Confrontations and provocations have caused relations between South Korea and North Korea that are already tense to get worse in early 2013.
한마디로 얘기하면 갈등 관계의 지속이었다. 그렇게 볼 수 있겠습니다. 김정은이 등장하면서 자신의 권력 기반을 강화하기 위한 여러 가지 이제 갈등적인 그런 조치들을 취했습니다.
Coupled with the South Korean government's so-called trust-building approach towards North Korea, the socialist state's need to rebuild its ailing economy briefly created a mood for dialogue in the middle of the year. But expectations for a thaw in the inter-Korean relations were soon shattered when inter-Korean high-level talks and the reunion of separated families were called off at the last minute, causing tension for the rest of the year.
If there's any kind of physical provocation done by North Korea, it's not possible for South Korea to push its trust politic toward North Korea. So it is North Korea's reaction or action which actually determines the course of inter-Korean relations in 2014. But as I said, in the first part of 2014, maybe a little bit rocky, but maybe I bet second half of 2014 could be the time when we can have some inter-Korean dialogue on other issues.
After publicly announcing early last year the adoption of a so-called Pyeongjan Line, which calls for simultaneous nuclear and economic development, North Korea appears to have restarted its nuclear reactor in Yongbyon, north of Pyongyang, after a 6-year hiatus. The international community is deeply concerned about the country's repeated assertions that it's strengthening its capabilities to produce nuclear weapons.
북한이 당장에 핵을 포기한다든가 또 남한에 대한 그런 공세적인 입장을 줄인다든가 하는 것이 쉽지 않다는 것이죠. 북한은 지금 군부가 상당히 많은 그 힘을 발휘하고 있고 김정은으로서도 안보가 중요하기 때문에 군의 입장을 대변할 수 없는 이제 그런 상황이거든요.
Amid ongoing political upheavals in North Korea following the execution of Chang Song-taek, once considered North's second most powerful man and Kim Jong-un's uncle, the South Korean government also remains wary about any provocative act.
I think this maybe before or after the coup result, it's possible for North Korea to stage the provocation, and the political mood actually work maybe for North Korea because their domestic situation. They need to stabilize. Kim Jong-un feels the strong necessity to stabilize and further consolidate his power base.
In fact, while North Korea continued its verbal provocations against South Korea, it proposed a working-level talk between the two Koreas to discuss issues on operating the Kaesong Industrial Park. Despite its ongoing domestic political turmoil, the North also approved a visit by international finance officials to the joint industrial park on December 19th, which was proposed by the South.
개성공단이라는 게 사실은 북한이 지금 현재 유일하게 남북 간에 하고 있는 사업이죠. 그래서 이 개성공단은 향후 남북 교류 협력 이런 데 상당한 크게 영향을 미치는 것이고, 이 개성공단이 활성화라든가 뭐 발전적 정상화라든가 이런 문제가 향후 북한의 그 경제 특구, 외자 유치를 함에 있어서 큰 영향을 주기 때문에 그래서 북한의 개성공단에 상당히 집착을 한다 그렇게 보여집니다.
To the north, the South has been considered as its economically developed neighbor that the economically deprived socialist nation could take advantage of.
북한은 지금 현재 조건에서 경제개발구를 추진하고 있고 또 내부적으로 지금 6.28 방침이나 시범을 하고 있는 조건에서 이런 남한을 통한 경협이라든가 이런 게 상당히 중요한 문제이기 때문에 북한도 좀 더 이제 전향적으로 나오지 않을까 이렇게 볼 때 중후반기부터 들어서서 그래도 좀 더 이제 교류협력이라든가 이런 것들이 개선의 기미는 보이지 않을까.
There are still doubts whether economic partnership could lead the two nations to engage in sincere talks for peace on the Korean peninsula.
한편으로는 충돌 가능성, 또 북한의 도발 가능성, 뭐 4차 핵실험을 포함한 또는 공해상에다가 또 북한이 포사격을 한다든가 미사일 실험을 한다든가 이런 가능성도 굉장히 많다고 생각이 됩니다. 또 그런 것에 대해서 우리는 충분히 대비해야 한다고 생각하고.
The South Korean government has recently reaffirmed that it will engage in inter-Korean talks and humanitarian exchanges and cooperation in its path of rebuilding trust.
So how we are going to deal with North Korea? So there should be more balanced way between North Korean nuclear issue and North Korean problem. So to solve North Korean nuclear issue, South Korean government should provide its grandiose design and also the action-based plan to implement this goal. Second, I think maybe you have to think about the opening up dialogue with North Korea by using the humanitarian issues, pressing North Korea to respond to the international community's call on the humanitarian issue very well.
But the top priority is for North Korea to give up its ambition to build nuclear arms and stop confrontations and provocations. Only then will the isolated totalitarian nation be able to revive relations with its southern neighbor and the rest of the world to receive aid it desperately needs to revitalize its economy.
And that's all we have time for this week. But do tune in again next week. We'll be looking at the future direction of President Park Geun-hye's economic policy as revealed in her New Year speech. So we hope to see you then. But that's it for now. I'm Andrew Salmon. This was Bizline. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.